So you're interested in Kahuina, which is one of the new developments coming over to our Kakaako, but you want to learn more specifically about the affordable unit, Mamalu. That's going to be the building on the right of this large development. Well, in this video, we're going to hyper-focus and specifically go over that building, which is offering all of the units in the affordable unit under market price program. So if you want to get all of the details, stick around. See you on the other side. What's going on, guys? Patrick Longley here with PatrickLongleyRealty.com, and today we're going to be focusing on Kahuina, but more specifically Mamalu. That's going to be the building on the right that's going to be offering all the units to the HHFDC Affordable Unit Program. Now, if you want to have a quick breakdown of everything when it comes to the HHFDC program, I have a couple different videos here. We will cover it in this video, but this is a very exciting project because they are offering 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units in the Affordable Unit Program. So if you've been scared away from the real estate game because you see prices are just getting out of hand, which they have gotten pretty high, this is an opportunity for first-time home buyers who want to get into the real estate. So this is a great program for first-time buyers who want to own real estate out here in Hawaii and a brand new unit nonetheless, and get yourself in below market price at a more affordable price point. Now, before we jump into that, if this is your first time here, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Patrick Longley. I'm a licensed real estate agent and have been for nearly a decade, helping buyers, sellers, investors, and first-time home buyers with their real estate needs. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Got my contact information right here. You can directly DM me on any of my social media platforms, or feel free to check out our website, PatrickLongleyRealty.com. Got a contact form there. If you wanted to send me a quick message there, I'll get back to you within 24 hours. So let's jump into the Mamalu building that's going to be part of the Kahuina project. So what is Mamalu? Well, once again, Kahuina has 2 buildings. As you can see in this photo right here, you've got Lamaku, which is going to be generally mainly market priced units, and a couple HHFDC affordable units. And then you have Mamalu, which is the smaller building that's actually going to be connected directly to the amenities deck, which is going to be jam-packed with some amenities. Now, that entire building is going to be offering 1, 2, and 3 bedroom HHFDC affordable units that are generally going to be 10 to 15% below market price. Now, again, if you want to understand the difference between the two, got a video right here that goes over market price versus the HHFDC affordable units. Now, the second part we want to break down is the layouts. How big are these units? What are the prices we can expect? So they're offering 1 bedrooms. Those are going to be about 528 square feet, and the starting price is generally going to be about $628,000. Now, that price could fluctuate depending on the view and the floor, but just to give you an idea, that's kind of the size, layout, and price. The 2 bedrooms are about 708 square feet, and those price points are generally going to start about $700,000. And the 3 bedrooms are some of the largest 3 bedrooms, and only a few buildings actually offer 3 bedrooms in the affordable program. And these are going to be over 1,000 square feet, about 1,078 square feet, depending on where you are exactly. And these are going to be priced at around $800,000. Now, compare this to the market units. Those ones for a 3 bedroom, very similar, maybe some subtle differences, are going to be going for about 1.3. So that's a huge delta in between the two. Additionally, those 3 bedrooms are one of the largest 3 bedroom affordable units that have ever been released. Now, when it comes to maintenance fees or HOA fees, you're going to be expecting about 91 cents per square foot. And when you calculate that out, it basically comes out to, for the 1 bedrooms, about $500 a month, 2 bedrooms, about $650 a month, and 3 bedrooms, about $980, $950 a month. Now, this is actually pretty killer when you look at the amount of amenities you get. You could get a very similar building that was built in 1970 that's easily 800, 1200 HOA for a 1 bedroom, and it doesn't have any amenities. It's really just money to fill up to fix things. But this is gonna be a brand new building. So you're actually just paying for basically the security, landscaping, taking care of all those amenities, the pool, the gym, the rec center, things of that nature. So you get a lot for what's actually considered when you look at the average. It's generally below what the average is if you were to go to an older building compared to a newer building, and you get way more amenities. So talking amenities, let's move into what amenities are actually included. So between the 2 buildings, there's actually going to be a sky bridge that connects Lamaku, which is going to be the building on the left, the blue one that's a bit taller. It's not going to have too many HHFDC units, but does have a few. It's going to connect it to the sky deck or sky amenity deck, where most of the amenities will be located, which is actually directly connected to the Mamalu building. So as you can see with some of these renders, you're going to have rec center or rec room, you're gonna have a gym, you're also gonna have a resort style pool, you're gonna have some barbecue areas, a lovely lobby, there's gonna be security there, and pretty much everything that you're looking for when it comes to luxury living, but you're getting it at an affordable price. And this is a huge bonus because I have seen in some of these affordable units where you'll be part of a beautiful luxury community, but if you're in the affordable program, for whatever reason, your fob doesn't work and you can't actually get into the pool, which I think is a little weird and wonky that they allow the market price people to use the amenities, but not the affordable, which which I think is kind of BS. But in this building or this development, they're actually allowing everybody to use that amenity deck. So let's talk the location. The location is extremely killer. It's going to be in the heart of Kakaako, just off Coral Street. And as you can see in this render right here, they're actually gonna have some retail space down below, as well as kind of a general community park section that they'll have here. And also I heard that they're putting a grocery store, maybe a Foodland, who knows, just across the street. So a lot of convenience, not only with the location, retail down below, possibly a grocery store across the street, but you're in the heart of Kakaako where you can enjoy salt, tons of dining and parks. Now, the next thing we want to go over is the HHFDC requirements. So how can you qualify for one of these affordable units? So let's jump into what that actually looks like. The first one is you must be an owner occupant. So it's very important that if you're buying this, and I think this is good, that they're not allowing investors to purchase these affordable units. They're not allowing investors to come in, get the unit dimes on the dollar, because you have to be an owner occupant, which means you actually have to live in the property as your primary residence, purchase it, and you can't just rent it out. You have to actually live in it as your primary residence. The second thing is you have to meet certain income requirements. So basically you can't make too much money. You need to make enough to qualify, but you need to make sure you don't make too much, because again, they want to offer this up to the local community and for people who are staying within, I think it's 120 to 140% of the AMI. Now, as you can see on this photo right here, this is kind of a rough calculation. So you can kind of get an idea if you would qualify for one of these units. And generally that qualification amount is calculated by the median income. Then they times out by 120 or 140%. And then they also are gonna look at how many people are actually gonna live in that unit. So if it's just you, that'd be a 1-person household. If it's you and your partner, that'd be a 2-person household. If it's you, your partner, and let's say 2 kids, that would actually be a 4-person household. So if you have 4 people, even 2 that are not generating income, let's say 2 kids, that would actually allow you to qualify on the higher side. So if you're making too much money, if you got some kids, they'll allow you to actually qualify on the higher side of that AMI restriction. The third requirement is you have to agree to the shared equity program. Now, this isn't optional, you have to do it. I also made a video right here on how to kind of maximize that loophole of the shared equity to make sure that the developer doesn't take too much money out of your pocket. But how this basically works is they've got this calculation that basically just takes what your property you purchased it at and what the appraised value of it if it was on the market, and whatever that difference is, they're gonna get a percentage. Now that percentage of equity that you're basically walking into right off the bat, that's gonna stick with you until you sell the property or until you pay it off. So essentially, if you bought the unit for $500,000 and it's worth $700,000 on the open market, there's about a 14% delta of equity that's already built into the unit. Now, when you sell the unit in the future, you are gonna have to pay 14% of the equity in that property when you sell it back to the developer. So it is a bit of a catch to a certain extent where you are getting, the benefit of being able to get into real estate at a lower price, but the developer is gonna get some of their money back once you sell it. But you get to reap the benefits of owning a property, owning the appreciation train that is real estate, as long as you fulfill some of these requirements. Again, if you wanna do a deeper dive into the shared equity and some of the yellow tape when it comes to the HHFDC program, or just see if you qualify, reach out to me. Not only am I a specialist in the HHFDC program, but we do have lenders that can help you qualify and make sure that it's the right match for you. And the fourth requirement is, once again, it has to be an owner occupant and it has to be your primary residence. So it has to be your primary residence for that entire timeline that they have of at least 10 years. So that's a huge piece to this, that if you at all think that you might leave or move out of that property before 10 years, this is a discussion we want to have, because you're not allowed to rent it out. It has to be your primary residence. It has to be owner occupant for that 10 years specifically for this project. What happens if you have to leave? That's a discussion that we can have. There are different ways that can kind of pan out, but just something you want to keep in mind. Those are some of the 4 major requirements. There's a couple other requirements, but those are the 4 big ones you want to be aware of. Now, the next question is, how do you get your hands on one of these? Well, it's a pretty simple process. The first one is, of course, connect with your favorite realtor, and we can kind of walk you through what that process looks like. We'll then get you connected with an HHFDC lender specialist who can help you see if you qualify for that HHFDC affordable program. And then we kind of match to see which units would fulfill your guys' wants and needs and your qualifying amount. Now, when are they actually releasing these units? Well, it's still up in the air, but word on the street is they're actually going to be doing a first come, first serve, different from the lottery system. So basically you have to have all your paperwork in order. That's why it's extremely important to reach out to somebody who knows how this process works. Once again, feel free to reach out to me. And then basically, once they give that release, it's all guns a-blazing. You have to get your paperwork in, which we basically specialize in. Keep an eye on when they're actually gonna release them and keep an ear to the ground of when the actual release is gonna happen. But word on the street is it's most likely gonna happen in January of 2026, which is right around the corner. So who is Mamalu a good choice for when it comes to HHFDC program? People who are first-time homebuyers. That is a big, big criteria. So guys, that pretty much wraps it up. If you guys have any questions about this project or the HHFDC program or anything when it comes to real estate, feel feel free to reach out to me. Got my contact information right here, or you can directly DM me on any of my social media platforms. I'm Patrick with PatrickLonnieRealty.com, powered by eXp Realty. Hope you have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you soon. Aloha.